You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast suitable for all ages from 2 and everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and this week, look, we need to skip the small talk and get right into it, okay? No small talk at all. No talk about atoms or bacteria or even, like sand or shells. Nothing of remotely a lesser height than other things. No conversations about mice or canaries or goblins or miniature tea sets. Got it? Okay? If I hear even one peep about something that's so small that it goes peep, then frankly, I will be very annoyed, as we have got much bigger things to deal with on this week's show than any sort of tiny nonsense. Ninsense? Would it be ninsense if it was tiny nonsense? I always like to assume that when you talk about smaller versions of bigger things, you just sort of say them, but in a smaller way. Like a small vole would be a vil, or a tiny elephant would be an elephant. Right? That's how it works, isn't it? It's either that or you add et at the end of the word, right? So like a towelette is a small towel, and a briquette is a small brick, and an omelette is a small Yeah? Yeah. Ah, look, I'm already doing small talk. Smiltic? Small talk. Anyway, look, this is the last thing we have time for on today's show. Why, you ask? Well, you don't even have time to ask why, because I have been sent in this epically long joke by Amy, aged 10. And this joke is so long that I think it will go down in time as one of those books that people with very long beards will say, about. Or they would if they weren't laughing so much when they read it. It'll be like one of those ancient Greek legends like the Odyssey, or the Scandinavian one Beowulf, or that time your scribbly yawn buffoons, I'm sorry, grown-ups, tried to read all the terms and conditions bit at the beginning of a new computer game when you just wanted to hit accept and get playing. I've been there. It's really boring. So this joke tale is, I think, amazing. And while you might have, like me, heard bits of it before, you'll realise that those bits you've heard, they were only a small part of the full tale. Like a single jigsaw piece of a huge, ginormous puzzle, right? And we've got the whole puzzle right here. It's been completed by Amy. So I hope you're ready. Let's begin. There are 500 bricks in a plane. One falls out. How many are there now? 499. A giraffe is walking along a riverbank with no danger whatsoever. How does it die? The brick falls on its head. How do you get an elephant in a fridge? Open the fridge, put the elephant in the fridge, close the fridge. How do you get a giraffe in a fridge? Open the fridge, take the elephant out of the fridge, put the giraffe in the fridge, close the fridge. All of the animals in the jungle attend a party. Which two don't attend? The dead giraffe and the giraffe in the fridge. A human is swimming in crocodile-infested water. How does it not die? The crocodiles are still at the party. The crocodiles get back from the party. Not long afterwards, another human jumps in the water. How does it not die? It is wearing a crocodile-repelling shirt. A crocodile jumps into human-infested water, aka a swimming pool. How is no one injured? It is wearing a human-repelling shirt. Wow, thanks, Amy. That was superb and amazing. And I hope, listeners, you did not mind that this week's podcast is 5 hours long, as I'm sure it was worth it by making you laugh so much that you weed yourself. And then obviously the joke was so long that weed dried out and then you weed yourself laughing all over again. I do have a lot of questions about that joke, though, with that kind of epic tale of jokes. Is it safer for giraffes to hide in fridges so they don't get hit by bricks, but then they still can't go to the party because they're stuck in the fridge? And then also, the fridge isn't safe because there's so many stinky hippos in there and it smells so bad, I'd worry a giraffe might die in there too. And also, I left that sandwich at the back of the fridge for so long that it went mouldy and then grew into an evil sandwich monster and tried to attack me with cheese string nunchucks every time I opened the door, so that can't be safe for a giraffe either. What did happen to that evil sandwich monster? I did throw it away, didn't I? I'm pretty Pretty sure I did. Oh, wait, and also, what music do they play at the jungle party? Is it jungle, or do they prefer bug step? And where do I buy a crocodile repellent t-shirt? Because I need one of those, or a human one. That would be amazing to wear, like, when it's really busy and you go to the shops. Would I be able to put a human repelling t-shirt on, or would I get thrown across the room if I even tried? Ah, I've got so many questions, and I'm sure that as this epic is transcribed onto scrolls, walls, and sides of very large buffalo, that people will study it for years and ask so many questions about it. So thank you so much, Amy. I should also add that Amy asked if I could end an episode of this podcast with pigs doing a version of Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm very sorry to say I have tried training some, and look, it didn't work. The one in the House of Straw was best at it. The ones in the wooden and brick house really didn't even try. And then I couldn't get them together to sort of do a harmony until the big bad wolf turned up. And then they all got together, but then they were too scared to do a harmony. I'm just saying they're selfish pigs. Piggish selves. That's what they are. Maybe I should wear a pig repellent t-shirt just to show them. Or maybe I should put them in the fridge. No, that's a bit mean. Yeah, anyway, I've had more things sent in this week, but I'm going to save them for next week's show because that joke was so epic. And of course, if you want to send in any jokes of any length, any theories about the meanings of that epic joke from Amy, or maybe you want to do your own version of Pig singing Bohemian Rhapsody, or you just have a question that you need answered on this here podcast, then please ask your scribbly yawn buffoons, grown-ups, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. You can also come and see us live by checking where our shows will be at comedyclubforkids.co.uk, as we have loads and loads of shows all over the place at theatres all over the UK. I'm afraid not out of the UK at the moment, but maybe soon. I'll also be at some of the shows in the UK too, so do say hello if you come along. And you can grab our t-shirts and book at comedyclubforkids.store wherever you are in the world, and if you want everyone to know your knowledge about stinky hippos or farting ducks. Oh, I feel quite hungry after all of that epic jokeness. I might go get a snack. And while I do that, you should listen here to the most importantest bit. What a treat we have for you on the show today, as I am joined by Sharlin Jahan, aka Sharlin, who never draws outside of the margin, aka Charlie Jangles, legendary trampoline defender, and of course, as all our Norwegian-speaking listeners will know you, Hun som leverer elgitide here the gang. But of course, most of our listeners will know you, Sharlin, from completing the many daring feats found inside the daring shoes for your highly acclaimed book, 1001 Different Ways to Say Pickle, and most famously for that time you recovered the lost city of Atlantis by just taking the plug out and it popped straight back up. Sharlin, how are you?
I'm good. That Atlantis one was, I just did that actually, so I'm kind of tired. I swam all the way there. Yeah, you understand.
I got that on like a breaking news, Atlantis being found, and I saw your name and I thought, well, I'd better add it in because I don't want this show to not be current. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And like you know what it's like, when you're trying to find something that has been lost for thousands of years and then find it and then like have to swim back. You know that's a relatable scenario.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I've done it, but I know about it.
Yeah.
Like it's something I wish I could do.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not great at swimming.
Yeah.
Is there a specific stroke that's good for? Is it? Do you do front crawl? Is it sort of backstroke? What do you do to find lost cities?
So basically, I think you have to find a seal that will be your mate, and then it will take you there. You also have to like learn how to breathe underwater for a long period of time. So that was difficult, but otherwise it was pretty easy. Like yeah.
How long can you hold your breath for underwater then?
45 minutes now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I am in awe of you. I mean, as I said, I'm so grateful that you had time to do this show when you have only just come back from recovering Atlantis. But I mean, 45 minutes, that is astonishing because, some people, and I'm not those people. I know that you do.
You better not
skill,
be.
But some people, I am definitely not those people. I've got a list of things I am, and it says on it, not those people.
Yeah.
Crisp eater, definitely I eat crisps, but I'm not one of those people. So, but they, people might say, why don't you just wear one of those, like those diving suits with the oxygen tank and all of that stuff?
No, absolutely not. First of all, I didn't think of that. I didn't.
Right, right.
Yeah, and second of all, like the seal came along and it's like, do you want to find Atlantis? And I was like, okay. And it granted me these powers of being able to like keep my breath underwater for 45 minutes. And then I was just like, do I have to even think about anything else? Like any
Yeah.
other logistics, flippers, all these not required, I don't
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Well, and also like I've never because I'm not one of those people. I've never worn one of those scuba suits like that they have to wear, and I always think they look really uncomfortable. Like I can't imagine trying to put one on or take it off. I think it would take a really long time.
It does take a long time. I did it for like I went scuba diving for scuba diving for a week, and it's very hard. That's probably why I didn't do it. It's very hard to put it on, and it's just
Yeah.
why do you want something on your back when you can have magical powers?
Yeah, well, exactly, and you sort of nip there and back, and you sorted out Atlantis. You don't want to have to add an extra hour on top of that, just putting your suit on.
Yeah,
You've got
and
things to do.
Atlantis people haven't seen anybody for thousands of years. Like, do they want to see a person in a snorkel like one of those outfits? No, no.
Yeah, yeah. So can I? Because I haven't read the full story. They were still there, were they?
Yeah,
They were just very wet. I get quite
just
soggy.
super wet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And were they pleased to be found, or were they sort of annoyed
They were kind of
about
annoyed. I
it?
think they liked their life
Yeah,
down there. And they're like, well, I guess they found us now. And it was like, what about the press? Like, you heard about it. Everyone on this podcast has heard about it. So it's just annoying for them. They have to deal with real
yeah.
world. Now they have to find out about like TikTok and all these things. Like, they didn't want
Oh,
to do that, you know?
yeah. They must have been really happy just chilling. They don't have to take part in all of this nonsense.
Yeah,
And now they've probably got to do things like go grocery shopping and all the
yeah,
sort of boring stuff that people have
exactly.
to
This
do.
is why I think Ariel had it all turned around. Like, why does she
Yeah.
want to be part of our world? We should have just been part of their world, you know?
Well, I think about that a lot because she's like, I want to have two legs and walk around with all the people. But like, you've got a friend who's a singing crab.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you hang out with him? Why
Why
would you
are
want
you
anything different?
looking at this fork like it's the most magical thing when you have a singing crustacean right
Yeah,
next to you? I think
yeah,
she was the most like privileged princess
yeah,
that gave it all
yeah.
up.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I don't know. It's so, I suppose you don't know what's that phrase. You don't know what you've got till it's gone. And
Mhm.
she probably like that got those two legs and then walked on the beach and went, ah, no, I've made a terrible mistake. This is awful. Let me
No,
back. You don't think
the
she
rest
did?
of the movie it was like she lives happily ever after
Yeah.
on those two legs.
But that's like a movie. I wonder if they had to put that in because in reality she was like, "Throw me back in. This is rubbish." And they're like, "We this isn't a very nice. This isn't a Disney ending.
Oh
We
right,
have to make this a happy. You know, maybe the real Ariel is still like still a fish because
yeah.
she yeah
Hopefully. Well, I don't know. Maybe the people listening to this love Ariel. Maybe we don't want to ruin it for them. But
mm.
I just think she had a nicer life down there.
Yes, that yeah. I mean, who knows? It's very tricky. There's a thing that the listeners to the podcast won't know, and they especially won't know if they're not in the UK. But there is a laundry tablet or a laundry thing called Ariel,
Yeah.
and I've always thought that was a bit unfair because she's like the Little Mermaid. She's super cool. She can do all these things. Why would you like? You wouldn't use laundry. You wouldn't need a laundry tablet in the sea. It just felt like a really weird choice for me.
It feels like we're the evil wicked witch doing that because that laundry tablet is part of our world and then we chuck it back in
Yes.
the sea every time we want to wash our
Yes.
clothes.
Yeah, which is, and that's an awful thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, and
And they all looked
sudsy.
quite clean in that film. Everyone looked very clean. Their clothes. I mean, they didn't. That's what you don't really need clothes when you're a fish, but they all looked like they'd had a wash. I don't think they need it, is what I mean.
Maybe it's because they were it.
Yeah, they were it.
They were laundry tablets all along.
Oh my goodness! Do you think all her friends were just little like faces drawn on laundry tablets?
Yeah,
Oh my
this
goodness!
is very meta.
It is meta, but you know, I think it's really important that a lot of these stories, and a lot of the listeners will know this because they read stories all the time. They know lots of stories. You know, all these stories always mean something else, don't they? They always like, you know, sure, it's about a princess and a prince and all this, but actually, really, it means don't poke raccoons in the eye or don't fart on a train. You know, there's like always a deeper meaning to it.
Yeah, yeah. Don't fart on the train. I think that's what that
Yeah.
meant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what the whole little that's what the Little Mermaid is really about. Don't fart on a train.
Unless you really want to, because you can't control your body all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also sometimes it's not that busy on a train,
Yeah.
and I think then just go for it.
Then go for it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think the point of Little Mermaid is sometimes fart on a train.
Sometimes fart on a train is kind of up to you.
Yeah.
That's a really powerful
Yeah.
message.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
Wow. I mean, already we've only just started talking, and I've obviously got some big questions for you coming up, but I feel like this has been we've learned a lot already. We've
Yeah,
learned a
I
lot
think so.
today.
I think we need to make a Disney film. That's what I'm learning.
Wow. What do you think the main character should be? Because obviously we've had mermaids, we've had lions, we've had frogs and frog princesses, we've had there's a lot, aren't there? There's quite a lot they've done. What have you got an idea for one that they haven't done yet?
I haven't thought about it, but like the first thing that comes to my head is like my toothbrush. Like what's my toothbrush's story, you
Oh,
know? What a
yeah.
difficult life, but also
Yeah.
easy life.
Right. What but do you think it's because it's kind of I suppose it's difficult for 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night, and the rest of it's really easy.
And I mean, if I'm honest, probably a minute in the morning and a minute at night. But yeah,
Wow.
I know. I
Whoa.
know. It's bad.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My toothbrushes are
Yeah.
probably a better life than other people's toothbrushes.
But maybe that's how we have to see it. Like we can't criticize your teeth brushing because actually you really care about your toothbrush and you want
Yeah.
it to have an easier life.
Yeah.
Because it can't be nice. Like, I'm guessing. I don't know how it works. Again, I'm not one of those people, so I don't know. But I'm not going to pretend to know. But I'm guessing that the brush bit is where the head is, where like the toothbrush is. That would be their hair or their. Like,
That's
just
what I
imagine if
thought.
someone grabbed you and used your hair to brush their teeth. That would be horrible.
Yeah, but that is also the point of a toothbrush. So if you were made to brush teeth, would
Uh,
you not feel bad if you weren't brushing any teeth?
yeah, because you're like, this is what I was born to do.
Yeah. Like
And
it's weird that we hug. That's a little bit strange if you think about it. But if we
hmm.
did it, we'd feel bad. Like our bodies are kind of made for that.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So toothbrushes are made to, and also, I mean, I might have this wrong. It might be that the brush bit is their butts or their
Yeah.
bums, and we're we have to use their bums to brush our teeth. I could be wrong. I just sort of always guessed because that bit was up
I've
when you
never
put it in
asked.
like a cup. Yeah, I've never asked actually.
I've never.
Maybe that's where we've gone
Yeah.
wrong all this time.
Oh,
All this time, I've never asked. I've never asked any of my teeth. And I've probably got through quite a few toothbrushes in my life.
wow. You're so
You know,
mean. I can't believe you did do
I
that.
am. Are you meant to keep the same one for your whole life?
No, you're not. But like, not ask any questions, not even say
Oh,
goodbye.
not ask any questions, right? Sure. Oh, I should say goodbye, shouldn't I? And I should give it a little send off, and maybe one of those, like when people leave a job, they get given a watch or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe I should do that for my toothbrushes. I'll admit I haven't thought about this before, and you're making me feel like I've been awful.
I mean, I didn't mean to. Oops, sorry. I don't mean to make you feel bad that way. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. I've hey, we all got to improve. I've learned today. This is maybe what I'll do from now on. Maybe after this chat,
Mm.
I'm gonna go and have a talk to my toothbrush. Yeah, I I want to know what sort of film. I like the idea of the lonely toothbrush, maybe, or the what would we go? You need like a sort of little tight, like Little Mermaid,
Yeah.
Lion King. I can't think of any other film. I think they've done one or two other films. And what would you go for? Something toothbrush?
Yeah, I think maybe like so like there's a maybe a mommy and daddy toothbrush, and then and then all of a sudden this little child toothbrush comes in and they ask a question about like what's going on, and then they have to go through the first toothbrush of like a toddler or something. Uh
Whoa.
and then they go on an adventure and learn the meaning of life, which is sometimes fire and trains.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. I know maybe like they've got this dream, like they really want to brush like a lion's teeth or something,
Yeah,
or like an elephant's teeth or something. Is
there
it
you go.
elephant? Yeah. And then they've got to go on an adventure. And then you'd hope at the end they don't go back to the toddler because they'd probably be quite disgusting by that point.
Yeah, but maybe it'll give them immune defenses. I don't know. Yeah. Well, if you go to Africa and brush a lion's teeth, I feel like you should just stay there. Like it's just too much to
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, yeah, and also that thing a bit like the Little Mermaid. You've got it all. Then you've brushed a lion's teeth. Why would you need to do anything else
Yeah,
with your toothbrush life? Surely you're the best toothbrush there's ever been.
exactly. Isn't it
Yeah,
crazy that lions don't need to brush their teeth?
yeah. What do they do? Like,
Is it like what dogs do, where they like chew on stuff?
is that what dogs do? They just have a little nib. They chew on like minty fresh. Do they have like those chewing gums that people have where they
Yeah,
can't brush their teeth?
that's
Right, yeah.
exactly that's what they have. No, they've got like
I
one of
didn't
those chew bones, right? So it like helps with
chew
their
bones,
dental. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Why don't we get chew
I
bones?
don't know. Actually, somebody needs to look at our dental industry. I don't like it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm onto this. I want a chew bone. I
Yeah,
want every night before bed have a little
yeah,
and that's much more fun. Yeah, you this is there's something really wrong about this. We don't need toothbrushes. We need human not human. You don't want the bones to be human. That would be so you want bones for humans to chew. This is all. And look, I'm just saying there's definitely a better way here, isn't there?
yeah. There's a better way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, listen, Sean. This is already. This is amazing. But I have asked you on this show because we've had a question sent in.
Yeah.
It's big. It's a big question, and I think you are the person to
Thank you.
answer it. But before I do that, I'm afraid I've got to ask you some admin questions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You don't mind? Cool. I know. I just feel bad. You swam all the way back from Atlantis. I didn't realize that was right before the show. But
Yeah.
so if you at any point just say no, I'm too tired. I do get it. I
Yeah.
do understand.
Yeah.
I understand. But the first question I've got to ask is that this is, I'm not sure if you're aware, but this is an audio podcast, which means that our listeners
What?
mostly listen to it with their ears, but they might also listen with their bums, with their knees. We don't discriminate however they want to listen to it. That's fine. And I just wondered if you had a favourite noise that you could tell us about or preferably even make for us.
So this is a weird one. It's an old-timey word. Like when somebody says, "I'm flabbergasted." It's an old-time big person word, but it just sounds so stupid.
Yeah, it's good though, isn't it?
Flabbergasted. Yeah.
Flabbergasted. It's got a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, it's very silly, and I think it's like we should be saying that more in our lives.
I respect. Is there a way that we should? Does it work if like? Because it feels like you have to really like flabbergasted. It feels like that's
like a Harry Potter spell. Like flabbergasted.
That's perfect.
It's Wingardium Leviosa. It's like that.
That's perfect. And yeah, you're right. We're missing out on people not just pointing at other people and shouting flabbergasted. Yeah. That's very good.
What I like about it is an adult word, but it's I think all ages should be using it.
Yeah, it's because what does it just means that you're sort of like you're kind of shocked, you're surprised.
Yeah.
Kids get surprised.
If they don't, they should.
Yeah, well, in fact, any kids listening to this who haven't been surprised, try it. It's great getting surprised.
I'm sorry about your birthdays, but you should get surprised.
Yeah, Well, it's the thing. Kids I mean, I'm gonna. This is unfair to my listeners because I'm gonna base all kids on my daughter for a second, who is 4.5, and she is aware. She knows every day like she's got till her next birthday, so she cannot be surprised by her birthday because she couldn't be more prepared for her birthday the second the last one finishes.
No, I'm saying like she's surprised by the presents.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
But also, you're a kid. A lot of things, like I remember being a kid, and like a lot of things were new. So every day you're kind of surprised. You're like, this new swing set. I've never seen that before.
That's true, but I suppose that's quite a. Does that count as flabbergasted if it's like a nice surprise? If it's like, it's the present I wanted. Like what you kind of need is a present to be something you really like you wanted. I don't know, some sort of like jigsaw, and then you open it up and it's actually like a moray eel. then you'd be flabbergasted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good example. Yeah. But I think then parents should be trying to flabbergast their kids more.
Yeah. Throw in a present that is just something they absolutely don't want and is possibly quite scary.
Well, maybe it's something they want and it's quite scary. That'd be kind of cool.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, do you think there needs to be a new trend? Because no one ever really promotes these on adverts for kids stuff. They never
Yeah.
really say, get your kid a moray eel. You know, everyone wants one.
Yeah.
It's the new thing at school.
I just don't think it's because I think parents don't want to give it to them. I think kids would love to have one.
Yeah, but they want to keep for themselves. Grown-ups are selfish. They want to
Yeah.
keep for themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I have 20 eels and I'm just so selfish that I just keep that to myself.
Wow.
I could give that to my nieces. No.
No, of course not. Do you take them with you when you go swimming for Lost Cities, or?
You know what? I should have invited them. They're really mad at me.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want 20 eels mad at you. That's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's
It's
gonna
been
be
a very
tricky to
bad
do.
day.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's not been that bad. You discovered it, rediscovered Atlantis. I suppose someone did it.
Yeah.
Originally, but yeah, it's not bad. But I just don't want to. Are any of those eels electric eels?
Oh, all of them.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, maybe their anger will charge all your lights and stuff for a while.
Yeah,
so
exactly. There's been positives like the cost of living crisis, so like that it's solved energy bills. But yeah.
Well, that's great.
But
Great. Well, that's good. I'm glad that's worked out in the end. That's very good. But I bet those eels, when they heard you didn't go, you didn't take that. I bet they were flabbergasted.
Yes, and I think they were very interested. Like they loved learning about that word.
Yeah. So it's all right. That's good. That's good. Well, I mean, listen, it's a great word.
Yeah.
Flabbergasted. And I hope now that people do only say it as though it's a spell. I think that is the way forward. I'm afraid the other bit of admin I have to ask you though is about words that aren't good. Because I'm not sure if you're aware as well, but this is a family-friendly podcast. It's suitable for people of all ages, any age you can imagine. Actually, Sharlin, is there an age you can imagine?
I don't think I can imagine any age.
Oh wow, not a single one.
No, I haven't.
Wow.
I don't know how.
Okay, it's hard. It is hard. There's a lot of them, which makes it tricky. But what I will say is that if you ever look them up, this podcast is suitable for it.
Okay, good.
But for all age, not 100 as a long story, but every other age.
Okay,
suitable for.
All right.
But because of that, I'm so sorry you can't imagine one. That's very tricky.
Yeah.
Maybe try. I tell you. 31. There's one there.
Oh wow. Okay.
7. That's quite. So there's lots of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, because it's family friendly, I just want to check if there are any rude words you won't be saying on this show.
Okay, let me see. That's a hard one. There's a lot of words that I shouldn't be saying.
She's really thinking. Listen, a lot of thinking going on.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about like my top. I'm thinking of like the first thing that comes up is juggernaut again.
Whoa!
Weird word. Yeah.
Wow. No. Wow. Don't say juggernaut on this show.
Don't say it.
Don't say juggernaut because we'll be in so much trouble. That's like the worst word.
I know. It's a really bad word, and like I kind of also remember what it means. Why do I can't? It just means something really big, right?
Really big, but like obviously it's a terrible word, so it's something really big and bad.
Yeah, a really big and bad, and I just don't want to. I didn't want to say that. I don't want to ever say that again. Yeah.
No, well, I appreciate that. If you don't say juggernaut on the show, I won't. I definitely wouldn't say. I don't think I'd ever say juggernaut. Probably ever out loud.
No.
So I really appreciate you not saying it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, got to keep the listeners safe. Oh, that is terrible. Oh. Well, listen, thank you for doing the admin bits, and now I've got to ask you. We've had this question sent in by Archie, who says he's aged 95. Sunshine emoji, poo emoji, poo emoji, poo emoji, poo emoji, poo emoji, poo emoji, smiley face, grinning face, which is that's an age you could imagine in future.
95.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's 95. Sun emoji, poo emoji, but etc., or if it's just 95 because he's put them in without any sort of breaks in the sentence. So it might be that long, or
Yeah.
it might just be he might just be 95. But he also doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't say 95. What? It doesn't say 95 years old. It could be
95 poops old.
He could be 95 poops old. Maybe he has finally done his 95th poop.
Yeah.
And that's how old. Maybe that's how he judges his age.
I think that's a really good way. Archie, that's an amazing way to count your age.
I agree. We should all. It take me quite a while to work it out, but I think we should all work out our age
based on poops.
Yeah.
And then if you compare it to what they look like and how many poops they have, you can tell how healthy they are.
Yeah, well, that's it, because that's what I worry that, like, you'd meet some people and they definitely have been alive for a long time, but they're only like, I'm only 3 poops old, and you're like, wow, you do not eat enough fiber.
Yeah. It give you more information than what we currently get with our current age, if I could imagine that.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Well, that's quite revolutionary, actually. Maybe Archie's a health specialist and we haven't realised this.
Exactly.
And so 95 poops old, Archie. And Archie has asked. This is a big question, Sharlin, and I've put it to you because I know your levels of expertise, and I think you can help us with this. But Archie has asked, why are slugs called slugs if they're just snails with no shell?
Archie is a revolutionary. I think Archie is a revolutionary because I don't know why we haven't thought about this question before. Because if you move house and you're in between houses, are you not human? Yeah. You don't change.
Yeah.
So I think it's amazing. That's a great question. And honestly, I'm going to petition somebody about it. I don't really know who.
Yeah.
The world.
Yeah. The world, everyone calls slugs and snails all around obviously it's slightly different name, like escargot or whatever, but they still have different names, don't they?
Mm.
And you're right, like, should we, or is the other, is the other thing that maybe humans, when they're between houses or homes, should be called slugs?
Yeah. Oh my God. That's even a better idea, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my petition to that.
Right. But is it like, yeah. So humans should be slugs if they're between
houses.
Yeah. Does that count for any animal? Is it like just an overall any animal that doesn't have somewhere to go?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit. It feels a bit mean if someone doesn't have somewhere to go. It's not their choice, and then we're fair. Like, you're a slug.
No, that's a really good point. Like, I think it would be okay for like lions, maybe, because if a lion is in between caves, then they can be a slug.
Yes.
Yeah. But for humans, you're right. It's not always their fault. So like, it's not always their choice. So I don't think they should be called slugs, but I think maybe slugs should be called humans.
Yes. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Little snotty, slimy humans.
Yeah. So they go from snail to human to snail.
Yes, that's great. That's great, actually. That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I feel like I don't know how you think about this, but there is a bit of me that slugs do get bad press because people are always like they're just snails with no shell. And if I was a slug, which again I'm not one of those people, but if I was a slug, I'd be like, no, I do my own thing. I've got my own agenda.
Yeah.
I don't need a shell.
He don't need no shell.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think slugs, you know what? I have changed my point of view on this quite a bit, but I think the slugs are the revolutionaries here, because here we are walking around thinking we need shells, but slugs are like, I don't need a shell.
Yeah, they're not materialistic. They don't need these things. Yeah. They just get on with their lives.
They're really breaking the mold or shell, as it were.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about the snail slug history. I assume they don't get on.
No.
But I almost wonder if snails are the ones that called slugs, like, they're like, I wonder if they started the beef. That's what I'm saying.
Snails.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100% snails started the beef because they're like snails. All the snails were all hanging out, feeling like so comfy in their shells, and then one person left their snail, and then I like their shell, and I bet it was the snail's like, you can't even be a snail anymore. You're not allowed to be a snail. You can't be the same as us. And then started calling it a slug.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
I can't say I had a lot of respect for snails. I didn't really have anything for snails, but now I don't like
them. Yeah. They're bullies.
Real bullies, just because they've got homes.
Yeah, but every snail is a potential slug, so we can't be bigoted.
True. That's true. Yeah. There's a thing, really, slugs are braver than snails, because like if a snail doesn't like something, it goes back in its shell. If a slug doesn't like something, it's just like, I gotta deal with this.
Yeah.
I got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna face up to my fears.
Yeah. The real revolution is inside.
There's a lot of revolutions going on today, but I'm for this. I'm for this revolutionary Archie with his poop age revolution, slugs with their no shell revolution. It feels like we're on the verge of something very big.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that was listen, thank you, Sharlin. That was a great answer, and I hope Archie is happy with that. I should say that I don't want to. Archie is 95 poops old, so I'm sure this was absolutely intentional. But he has put no, just snails with no shell, and no is spelt KNOW. So it's almost like knows about shells.
Mm-hmm.
If they're just snails with no shell, like I don't know if he knows something that slugs have a really knowledgeable shell somewhere else. I don't want to misinterpret, obviously.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think Archie, I'm going to say the word again, is a revolutionary. So I think he understands what he means by that. There's, I think maybe a snail left their shell because they know that there's a wiser shell somewhere else.
So much smarter than we give him credit for.
Oh my God, he's 95 poops old.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That is a lot, isn't it? That is a lot. Or one day old after Christmas, like.
Or a baby. Like some babies are very.
Some babies are just endless people, aren't they? Yeah, that is true. Yeah. But I mean, if he's a baby and he's sending in questions like that, that's also
very intelligent. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Archie, I think however we look at this, we're dealing with a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, listen, thank you, thank you for answering that, Sharlin. And I appreciate you doing this after you've done your big swim. And I hope Archie's pleased with the answer. Have you got much else on for the rest of the day? I'm guessing you've done your big swim. You're probably going to have a rest now.
Well, I've got like these electric eels that are kind of mad at me, so there's some contending with that. But otherwise, yeah, I think I deserve a rest.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so.
100%.
Well, good luck to you. Good luck to not good luck to the eels. Good luck to your toothbrush.
Yep.
I suppose I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you some questions now.
I'm after this. I'm immediately asking mine. Maybe the first question it'll ever have been asked. So.
Yeah.
Be big. I might what's your favorite crisp? I haven't worked out what it's going to be yet, but
What's the favorite thing that you've tasted that's been in my mouth?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah,
it's a great question, and I hope it's not something I didn't like, or I have to eat it again.
Like broccoli. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big day. Well, I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, please do.
And thank you very much, and hopefully see you again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
There is no French!
Thanks so much to Sharlin for her expertise and having time to answer such an important question straight after she got back from finding Atlantis. I really do appreciate that. She must have been exhausted from all that swimming. And Archie, I do hope you liked your answer. And if not, why not write your complaint on a snail's shell? And it will take so long to be delivered to me that I'll probably have moved somewhere else by the time it arrives. Don't forget, if you've got a question that needs to be answered, or you want to send in a very long joke, or, well, anything at all, really, then get your scribbly yawn buffoons, I'm sorry, grown-ups, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. And come and see us live and say hello, which you can do by checking when we're near you at comedyclubforkids.co.uk, and you can grab our t-shirts and book at comedyclubforkids.store. Now, while you were listening to that importantest bit, I went to the fridge to get a snack, and I'm sorry to say, well, actually, no giraffes in there. But the evil sandwich monster is still in there. It threw some petit filou at my head, and I had to close the door and run away. It's quite scary. Hang on, I'll show you. Phew! I nearly got injured by a projectile grape. That was terrifying. Oddly, the stinky hippos all seem very happy in there, so I can only assume that the monster likes the smell. Maybe the smell keeps it at bay. I'm not really sure. I don't know if it's particularly safe for a giraffe or an elephant to be in there whatsoever, but maybe it does like the smell. Ah, hang on. There's one way to find out. Oh, right, I've got a stinky hippo here, and it smells so bad. It is so disgusting. But if I rub it on my arm, and it smells like someone set some sick on fire. It is, and it is like donkey sick. Anyway, look, I'm going to rub this horrible stinky hippo on my arm, and it's going to make my arm smell like stinky hippo, and then...
Oh, wait, lovely smells.
Oh, wow, it works! Right, well, I'll just grab this sausage roll, and then I can eat my snack in peace. Ah, great. Well, that is nice to know that I can leave the monster be and the hippos, as long as I have a very, very stinky arm. Oh, gosh, it really smells so bad. But I don't care, as I have this sausage roll. Hang on. What date did this go off? 1978? Uh-oh. Ah, sausage roll monster, help! Bye!
You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.